The main game that's taken up my time this month is one of the few AAA games that I've played. That is Insomniac's Marvel's Spider-Man's 2s, the full sequel to their first installment from the PS4, later remastered for the PS5, which I played when it was included in the sort of standalone DLC spin-off Miles Morales game right near the PS5's at launch. Did it launch? Was it a launch title for the PS5?
One.
Yeah,
day one.
There we go. But this is a fully fledged sequel to both those games. I say a fully fledged sequel, and this is something I'm going to unpack a bit as I go on, because I think there's some interesting points to look at when compared with another AAA game released this year, being Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm going to weigh some criticism at this game that I staunchly defended in Tears of the Kingdom, and that is Spider-Man 2 being set 90% on the same map as the first game, and indeed the Miles Morales game. Before I dive into this, I will say that this game is astoundingly good, but it is essentially £70 DLC.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that just because it's set in the same map, although that is part of it, especially as we've already had 2 games set there, and I know that New York is such a central part of Spider-Man, so it's certainly forgiven. But the real criticism is that not only is it set in the same location I've already played, but it feels exactly the same to play it. And this is something that Nintendo doesn't do with Tears of the Kingdom, because whilst the topography of some of the world is the same as Breath of the Wild, let's not forget that Tears of the Kingdom also has the caves, the sky, the depths to explore in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
But because of the ridiculous new mechanics and skill set that Link has, interacting with those familiar elements on the map from Breath of the Wild feels entirely new. And in fact, it even leans into your familiarity with certain places to intentionally subvert your expectations of how to approach it, and then gleefully pulls the rug from under your feet on many, many occasions. Whereas swinging through New York in Spider-Man 2 feels exactly the same as swinging through New York in Spider-Man and Miles Morales.
Yeah.
The good news is that swinging through New York in any of these games is one of the best things you can do in video games. And it feels phenomenal.